Good day, my regular viewers. I'm here once again to discuss an important topic under the structural aspect of English language, and that is direct and indirect or reported speech. Now let us look at the keywords within that particular topic, where we have direct, we have indirect, and we have speech. Now let us look at direct from the point of view of done without any other people's action. Then indirect, that is not direct but reported. While speech, that is statement made and sentences constructed. Now let us start with direct speech. What is a direct speech? The direct speech is the statement made by the original speaker. That is the actual words of a speaker, either in spoken or written form, which is enclosed within inverted commas, that is quotation marks, and followed by a comma and the reporter's comments. Now let us look at some sentences in direct speech. 1. Quotation marks open. We are writing a test now. Quotation marks close. Comma there, said the students. 2. Quotation marks open. I have completed my assignment. Quotation marks close. Comma there, said the boy. 3. Quotation marks open. The earth rotates round the sun. Quotation marks close. Then comma, said the geography teacher. 4. Quotation marks open. I may visit you tomorrow. Quotation marks close. Comma there, said Paul. 5. Quotation marks open. Close the door. Quotation marks close. Comma, the secretary said to me. 6. Quotation marks open. What is your name? Question mark. Quotation marks close. As the receptionist. Now let us look at an indirect speech. An indirect speech is a reported speech. That is, words of the reporters used to express what the original speaker had said. Or better still, you can say a second-hand reporting, which has the following characteristics. 1. No inverted comma will be used in reported speech. Then, the original message must change in some of its parts. Let us use the following examples under the direct speech. Number 1 here, the students said that they were writing a test then. 2. The boy said that he had completed his assignment. 3. The geography teacher said that the earth rotates. 4. Paul said that he might visit me the following day. 5. The secretary told me to close the door. While 6. The receptionist asked what my name was. Now let us look at changing direct speech to or into reported speech. Now the following parts of speech will change. Let us start with verbs. Under direct, the verb go changes to went under reported. Take changes to took. Hit changes to had. Has or have changes to had. Will changes to would. Shall changes to should. Is changes to was. Are changes to were. Was changes to had been. Can changes to could. May changes to might. Must changes to had to. Needn't changes to didn't have or wouldn't have. While ought to remain ought to. Then let us go for pronouns. Pronouns under the direct speech. I changes to he or she under reported. We changes to they. Our changes to their. You retain you, but one is in capital letter, one is in small letter here. Has, us, changes to them. Me changes to him or her. Your changes to my. Now let us go for adverbs. Adverbs under the direct we have now changes to then under reported. Then here changes to there. Does, THUS changes to so. Ago changes to before. This week changes to that week. Last week changes to the previous week. Last night changes to the previous night. Next week changes to the following week. Today changes to on that day. Tomorrow changes to the next day. Yesterday changes to the previous day. And here changes to there. Now let us give some examples of sentences changing from direct to reported. We have 15 examples here. Now let us start with number 1 under the direct speech. Quotation marks open. I am traveling tomorrow, comma there, quotation marks close. Tina said. Let us underline I. Let us underline am. Now let us underline tomorrow. Now into reported speech. Let us look at it. I am traveling tomorrow, Tina said. Changes to Tina said that she was traveling the next day. Number 2, quotation marks open. I will give you your balance now. Quotation marks close, then a comma there. Said David. Let us underline I. Let us underline will. Let us underline you. And let us underline your. And let us underline now. So, I will give you your money now, said David. To direct speech now. Reported speech. To reported speech now. David said that he would give me my balance then. Example 3. Quotation marks open. I am an author. I have written many textbooks, Michael said. Now let us underline I. Let us underline am. Let us underline I. Let us underline have. Okay, now changing that to a direct speech, reported speech. I am an author. I have written many textbooks, Michael said. Now changes to Michael said that he was an author and had written many textbooks. Example 4, quotation marks open. This book is interesting. Quotation marks close. Then we have comma there, said my friend. Let us underline this. Let us underline is. Then let us change it to direct speech. This book is interesting, said my friend. Now changes to my friend said that that book was interesting. Now 5. Quotation marks open. We are writing a text. Quotation marks close. Then comma. Said the students. Then let us underline we. Let us underline are. Then let us now change that to reported speech. We are writing a test, said the student. Now changes to the students said that they were writing a test. Now 6. Joe said, this is the cause of my problem. That statement is in quotation marks. Then let us underline this. Let us underline is. Let us underline my. Now to reported speech. Joe said that he was the cause of his problem that day. Now let us go for 7. Quotation marks open there. Are you coming here tomorrow? Quotation marks closed. Then a comma, a question mark there. She has. Now let us underline her. Let us underline you. Let us underline here. And let us underline tomorrow. Are you coming here tomorrow? She said. She asked, sorry. Then changes to she asked if. She asked me if or whether I was coming there that day. Now let us look at 8. Example 8 here. quotation marks open, I will reject the offer. I will reject the offer, he said. Let us underline the I there and let us underline the will. Now, let us change that to a reported speech. I will reject the offer, he said. Now changes to he said that he would reject the offer. Now 9, quotation marks open. What is your program now? That is a question mark, quotation marks closed. Stella asked. Now let us underline is, let us underline your, and let us underline now. Now changes to direct, to reported speech. What is your program now? Stella said. Changes to Stella asked what was our program then. 10, quotation marks open. You must do it now. Quotation marks close, comma there, Bola ordered. Let us underline you, let us underline must, and let us underline now. Now I want to change it to reported speech. You must do it now, Bola ordered. Bola ordered that I had to do it at once then. Now 11, quotation marks open. I was in your house yesterday. Then quotation marks close, then comma there, said Felix. Now let us underline I, let us underline was, and let us underline your, let us underline yesterday. We now have it as I was in your house yesterday, said Felix. Changes to Felix said that he had been in my house the previous day. 12, quotation marks open. The bank manager was driving out when I got to the bank. Quotation marks close. There is a comma there. Said the bursar. Now let us look at, let us underline was driving. Let us underline I. Okay, then changes that. Let us change that to a reported speech. The clerk told the bursar that the bank manager had been driving out when he got to the bank. Now 13, quotation marks open. I shall finish my exams next week. Quotation marks close there, comma there, said Aruna. Now let us underline I, let us underline shall, let us underline next week. So let us now change that to reported speech. I shall finish my exams next week, said Aruna. Aruna said that he should or would finish his exam by the following week. Then 14, quotation marks open. Close the door, quotation marks close, comma there, the secretary said to me. Now let us underline me there. Let us underline, okay, we are not going to underline anything there. The secretary told me to close the door. The secretary told me to close the door. Now here, get out of my class, exclamation mark there, then quotation marks close, said the teacher to the students. Now the teacher ordered the student out of his class. Or the teacher was angry and he asked the student to get out of his class. Now we have exceptions to this particular. The rules might be applicable to might be changing of indirect speech to reported speech. Now let us, at times we have the exceptions. Now in case of a scientific truth, facts and habits. Now let us look at the following sentences, both in direct and reported speech. Number 1, quotation marks open. The earth rotates around the sun, our geography teacher explained. Now let us underline rotates there, which is in the simple present tense. Now we want to change that to reported speech. Our geography teacher explained that the earth rotates. That rotates will remain rotates. You don't change it, cannot be rotated because it is a scientific truth. Now another one, Musa comes late to school every day. Let us said his friend. Let us underline that particular comes. So let us now change it to the reported speech. Musa's friend said that that is Musa, comes late to school every day. That comes remains calm, not sorry. That comes remains calm, not came. We cannot change that particular calm to came. So because it is a habit of Musa. Then let us look at the last example we have here. Quotation marks open there. The sun rises in the east, our teacher said. So let us underline that particular rises, which is in the simple present tense. Now let us change it to reported speech. Our teacher said that the sun rises in the east. That rises remains rises because it is a fact. Now let us have the following exercise, the following questions for practice. Number one here, let me change the following sentences to the reported speech. They are in direct speech. Okay, let us start with number one here. Number one, quotation marks open. The earth is spherical. We have quotation marks closed there, comma, said our geography teacher. 2, quotation marks open. I don't know what he will say. Then we have quotation marks closed. We have a comma there, Chima said. Then 3, were you around when the man came around yesterday? Then you put a question mark, quotation marks closed, said Michael. 4, you quotation marks open. You must decide what you want to do with your life. Quotation marks close, comma. The man has his son. While the last one, quotation marks open. Will you be at home tomorrow evening? Then question mark, quotation marks close. Then as my friend. That is where we are going to end today's lesson. Until another time, I come with a new topic. I remain yours sincerely, Michael.